Hi guys, I've got another art journal tutorial video for you today, and I want to go ahead and apologize beforehand because my voice is a little bit hoarse. I have a cold that I've been battling for about 2 days now, and so my voice doesn't really sound the greatest, so I apologize for that. But we'll go ahead and jump into the video. I'm going to be sticking down some Tim Holtz tissue paper with some Liquitex matte medium, and you can see I've put some tape down the spine of my book, and you can kind of tell there's a big gap there that I'm trying to protect. That's another reason why I really like using the Tim Holtz tissue paper, because I feel like it, first of all, if you're going to use any wet medium, it really helps protect the pages and protect the spine of the book, but also I think it kind of helps keep the pages together and hold the book together. So I'm a big supporter of using this kind of tissue paper. It's not the same as other tissue paper. It's more like a wax paper if you've never used it. None of my local stores carry it, so I actually had to order it online, but it's not that expensive for how much you get, and it goes a long way. I think I got 2 boxes of it, and I think I've had them for almost a year, and so it's really worth it to use this if you want to create interesting backgrounds and you want to help support the spine of the book and the pages a little bit better. So if you can't find it locally, you can definitely find it online. A friend of mine told me that her local Hobby Lobby does carry it, so I know they have it. I don't know about Michael's or Joann's, anywhere like that, but my local Hobby Lobby does not carry it, although they are starting to get in more Tim Holtz products, so I'm hoping maybe in the future they will. But I'm just using the Liquitex matte medium to stick down this tissue paper. I want to make sure to get the edges really well stuck, and that's probably the one thing I've noticed is the most important is to really make sure you get the edges, because they don't want to stick sometimes very well, and then they start peeling away and that starts chipping away at your book, and you don't want that. So I'm just going to trim up the edges here and make sure I get it really flush with the edge of the book, and you can see some of the edges are still having trouble sticking, so I'll go back in with some matte medium and continue sticking those down. I previously was using glue to stick down the tissue paper, but it almost made it feel really bulky, so that's why I started going to matte medium, because it almost, it felt like the pages didn't get quite as stiff and quite as bulky. So I'm going to keep doing it that way. I just have to make sure to put plenty on the edges. Now I'm going in with some gesso, and I'm going to do a very, very thin gesso over these pages. Usually I do, I would say a medium thickness or a medium amount of gesso on my pages, but I really want the background to come through for this specific layout, so you're going to see I'm really going to stretch the gesso as far as I can before reloading my brush. And somehow right here I've lost some video. I'm super frustrated because I feel like I'm losing video like crazy lately. I'm working on kind of problem solving some of my video issues, so I do apologize. I'm going to show you the background again here after I create my center kind of focal piece. So bear with me while I kind of get my video issues sorted out. But for the layout, I'm creating a diamond, and I've just used some blue cardstock with a print on it that I like, and I've drawn in pencil kind of a diamond geometric pattern, and then I'm just going in with my Jelly Roll pen in white, and I'm tracing over the pencil lines so you won't see them, but also to give it sort of that geometric diamond look. I just kind of sketched this out. I didn't use a pattern or anything. I just found a picture of like the way a diamond would look, I guess, like the cuts, and then I just created those lines on the shape here. And I actually kind of think it created a cool effect. If you didn't want to do this and you just wanted the shape of a diamond, you could certainly just cut that out. But I wanted to show kind of the sparkly geometric shapes that would be inside of it. And here I'm going to go back to the page now so you can see the background. For the background, I used Tim Holtz Distress Paint. I used the color Salty Ocean, and Mustard Seed is the yellow color. And I really laid it on thick and I didn't overblend. You can see some of the areas almost turned like a green color, which was kind of neat, and that was a cool effect that I was happy with. But I tried not to overblend it where it was all just a green mess. And I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. The way, if you want to achieve that a little bit easier, what you can do is you can put one color on, let it dry, and then try to do like the next color. Leave white areas so that the next color has somewhere to go. But when you blend it, you just don't want to overblend it, and make sure you use a really clean baby wipe. You can see I just had a lot of issues doing this page. I think maybe it's just my cold getting to me because I wasn't feeling 100%, but I really had the urge to work on a page. But you can see that my stamping isn't the best on this page. I'm not really happy with it, but you know, when I look at this page, it's going to remind me of this terrible cold I had, and sort of, you know, remind me of what I was going through when I made it. So I'm okay with it. It's not my most favorite page, and the stamping on it, it's a little bit hard to read, but when I look at it, I'm just going to be reminded of this day, and you know, it's okay. This book is just for me, and these videos are just to inspire people. I'm not perfect by any means at what I do, but I really have fun doing it, and I like to share that with people and hopefully inspire other people to get into art journaling, or to, you know, inspire people on a specific layout they might be looking for an idea for. So yeah, I know it's not perfect, and I'm not really thrilled with it either, but I didn't know how to fix it, and I didn't want to, you know, try to fix it and then make it worse. So my A is a little bit close to the word chunk, but my saying is I think it's a pretty saying. A diamond is a chunk of coal that did well under pressure. So I'm going in with a Faber-Castell marker. It's a darker blue, and I'm just outlining the diamond. You can see where I went in with the Jelly Roll pen and got all those little angles and everything on there. When I stuck down the diamond, I used a matte gel, and I made sure to go all around the outside like I always do when I stick things down. That way I can use those pit pens, and I can really get the smudging and the smearing shading effect that I'm looking for. This is Inca Gold. If you've never used this stuff, I am new to it as well, but I really enjoy it. It's almost the consistency of butter, and I'm using a gold and a color. If you've never tried it out, though, get a couple because they're really fun. They're a lot of fun to use. I just used it through a starburst stencil and created some starburst patterns, kind of like a shiny pattern. And for the final step, I'm going in with some glossy accents. This is by Ranger, and I'm just going to go all around the diamond. When this dries, it almost has like a plasticky, sort of like shiny, it almost looks wet, and I thought that would look really cool on the diamond. And I'm looking at it now actually in the actual book, and it turned out so neat. It's fun to touch. It gives the book a different sort of effect. So I love, this is my favorite part of the page actually. But all I did here is I put a little bit on, I went around the outsides to create a border, and then I'm kind of smearing it around because I don't want it to get too tall, too thick, because it'll never dry. But so I'm just going around with my paintbrush, and I'm just touching up any areas that need to be filled in. It's kind of a thick consistency. You can see a picture there of how it looks when it's dry, and it's really clear so you can see the image, but it turned out really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this page, there's some little quirky things with it, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you got inspired and enjoyed it. Leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more, and make sure to follow me on Twitter. Thanks guys. Have a great day.